Okay, so I'm kind of curious if I was graduating UC Davis right now and I was a winemaker and I was just getting out there, the wine industry is completely different than when you first started. What would you do if you just graduated, you were just starting? I mean, if you really wanted to zig when everybody's zagging and do something disruptive, what would you do? I mean, what would you do in the vineyard and the winery, and how would you march to a different level?
Well, unfortunately, somebody who's just got out of Davis doesn't know anything, so it's a little bit problematic. They have to actually learn something about winemaking. So after they've done that, maybe for 5 or 10 years, then they could do something crazy. And I don't know whether this is crazy or not. This could be crazy, this could be actually totally sane. But I think the ultimate question we have to ask ourselves as winemakers in the new world is, what do we have to bring to the table that wasn't there before? What new thing can we create that wasn't there before? Because guess what? Everyone has done it all once before, and probably way better than we have. So how do we do something new? I think you do this using the power of nature. I'm kind of thinking hybridization, crossing varieties together, creating genetic diversity. I think this is interesting on a number of accounts, not the least of which is greater complexity in the wine, but also looking at genetic variations, and in so doing, trying to hone in on those particular plants or varieties or genotypes that are particularly best suited for a given site. Not easy to do, really complicated to do, but I think ultimately what you're looking for is this kind of hand-in-glove congruence between the grape you're growing and the particular site where you're growing it. I mean, this is the genius of Europe, with hundreds of years of iteration and observation. Like, Pinot Noir is a brilliant grape variety, totally brilliant grape variety, but if it had only been grown in Fresno or Modesto or Lodi, people would never have known how brilliant it was.
Yeah.
Somehow it managed to be grown in Burgundy, and then this miraculous thing happened. So you need a fabulous grape, and then you need it to be grown in exactly the right place, and then something extraordinary can happen.
If you were going to plant a new vineyard, would you mix it up? Would you plant the same grape, or would you do different blocks or different?
All of the above. All of the above. All of the above. Because what you're really looking for is difference. So if, for example, let's say you wanted to plant a cross between, for whatever your personal reasons, a cross between Sagrantino and Rosese, just to name an example.
Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. So you probably want to plant some Sagrantino, you probably want to plant some Rosese, and observe how they did on your site, and then look at your hybrids and ask yourself, is this cross any better, any different, any more, is it closer to what I'm looking for than the variety itself? But without these points of comparison, you really don't know.
It would be kind of hard. I think if you're graduating now and you just got out of Davis, wet behind the ears.
You need a day job. I mean, note to self.
Or travel around the world and work harvest south of the equator, north of the equator, work a harvest in France, work a harvest in New Zealand.
You need the technical part of winemaking is pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's really sort of the imaginative part. In other words, you have to start thinking, where does greatness come from in wine? Why does Burgundy taste so friggin' amazingly great? What is it? And I don't know that anyone's really answered that, but you have to be kind of, I think, pretty obsessed about this.
Well, I know there's plenty of us who've definitely researched the question. I don't know if you come to the answer, but that's the fun part about it.